let's get something first established. One, you need a website.
Yes.
Okay, so you got to be mobile friendly if you want to show up in, what they say, the share of answer in AI GEO.
Correct.
What else do they need to do? And let me ask, Scott, is this something that they should do, or do they need to farm this out to somebody else?
My recommendation is working with someone that knows how to do it, that has a focus on speed. And what the funny thing is, you can have the best content in the world, the best site design, the best colors, the best images, but if you're slow, no one's going to see you because no one wants to work with it. That's the belief, is if I show up for this keyword, I get business. That's a correlation. That isn't a, yes, if you're number one for this keyword, you will get all the business. That is not the case anymore.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with NDUB podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster. Excited to chop it up with you today with my man, Scott Shockney from Sidecar. He does amazing work, and I met him. We've been going at this for 50 minutes now, so he definitely has patience, so he likes me.
It's true.
But I met him about 4 or 5 years ago, and he had me at Smash Burgers.
A good place to start, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely good place to start.
Great place to start. So this video, for those that are watching on YouTube, for those that are listening, whatever platform that you're on, for my first-time listeners, thank you for joining me. For my worldwide listeners, I couldn't do this without you. I hope you get something out of it, because if you're a business owner, we're going to cover 5 things. 1 is going to be SEO versus GEO. 2, keywords versus
context.
3,
we're talking about XML sitemaps and large language models.
We have our cheat sheet right over here that we're looking at. 4, schemas.
Schema, which is semantic markup.
And 5,
which is going to be reviews. And the whole concept is, as a small business owner, what things can you control that help influence being found in AI queries and AI overviews? There are many things that you can do. Most people don't do them because they don't even know they exist. And so we kind of want to highlight a few of the options that you have and see how you can apply it to your business.
So I gave you that 5 for those that want to say, hey, look, I'm going to come back to this. Obviously, this is in chapters, but I don't want to get straight to business because I'd be so rude. That's like eating and leaving. But I wanted to kind of give you that breakdown because I want you to make sure you take notes. This is for business owners that have websites. And if you don't have a website,
you're going to struggle. You will be challenged.
Very much be challenged.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk to you, those that are looking to build a business, a true business, a business that's not running you, but you running the business. But I wanted you to get to know the person that knows this stuff. Scott, man, tell the people who you are, what you do.
So I have a craft agency here in the Pacific Northwest, and I've been doing this since about 1997. Before Google was a verb, I started doing lead generation and SEO, PPC, all the things that help people in brands and businesses be found online. A lot of digital marketing. I've had an opportunity to teach digital strategy at Washington State University. I've done a lot of speaking engagements at sales conferences on how best to position your marketing and marketing strategies. And one of the things that I found in working with, it started out with an agency, small agency, went into corporate world, worked through a couple major corporations and enterprise level SEO, and you go back to the small agency SEO, and they all have the same thing in common, and that is paying attention to details. And details matter. And it's kind of one of the options, and one of the things I want to talk about is some of the details that are helping you benefit and promote your brand, promote your visibility, and get you just more notices. Right now with AI, how disruptive it has been, especially over the last 2 years, but even more recently over the last 18 months, people are very frustrated because they think that the world works the same way today that it did in 2020. In 2022, And it does not. It is not the same environment. And if you don't adapt and adjust, you will fall further behind.
I think it wasn't even that long ago, like maybe 2005 to 2010. If you had a blog, you were doing something.
It's all you needed.
All you needed, right? And
that's it.
And the bots will crawl through your site. You wouldn't have any issues with getting noticed, but that's not the case anymore.
It isn't. And one of the things that I work with my clients on quite often is what's called an AI mention. Can we get your brand, your business, to be visible to the large language models so that you show up in AI overviews and Perplexity and ChatGPT? And if you know how to influence those outcomes, you have a better chance of showing up. I'll give you an example. I have a law firm on the East Coast that I work with, and we started working, we've been a long-term client, but we started working on the AI mentions with them about 6 to 8 months ago. And first month in, he had about 2,300 mentions, which in other words, his brand, his name showed up in search queries using AI overviews, Perplexity, ChatGPT, about 2,300 times for the month.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's
and you're
good.
thinking, yeah, you think it's good. Now he's showing up about 500,000 times per month.
Yikes.
So, I want to kind of...
hella good.
Yeah, so what did we do to move that needle so much? And that's kind of some of the things we want to talk about, how we go about doing that.
All right, so this starts with, we're going off our cheat sheet because we can talk for hours, and we don't have no smash burgers, so that's...
They're waiting on the other side. Right?
They are. So let's go with, what's the difference between SEO, which is search engine optimization, versus GEO, which is, was it Generative
Engine Optimization.
So AI, but I'm going to let the SEO expert talk through that.
So they're both technical aspects. Okay. They are more closely aligned than they are separate. A lot of people, there's all kinds of slang and industry jargon being used right now, which will confuse most people. And that's what the intention is. It's like, well, you need this and you need that. Well, no, it's, again, pay attention to the details. It's kind of simple. They share a lot of the same commonality, which is you're writing your website for multiple audiences. Okay. The search engine optimization SEO is written for Bing and Google and DuckDuckGo, those search platforms. Generative Engine is using the similar methodology to go after ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews, and Claude.
Yeah.
So how do you do those things? The common thing is that everything on your website that you see is for the user, and everything in the code is for both SEO and GEO.
Okay.
So everything goes into it is like, how do you structure it? What is the site navigation? What are the meta phrases?
Which we're going to get to in a little bit.
All of those different things play a role. And I would also tell you that the platforms are important. Okay. Both the search engines and the AI bots reward websites that are fast.
So this is when I tell, especially my clients, like, look, let's get something first established. One, you need a website.
Yes.
That's going to be mobile friendly. And it can be a 1-pager, it can be 20 pages. However, I'm not going to recommend that. But it has to be fast, mobile friendly.
Yes. So the code that you sit on, the platform, whatever it is, if it's WordPress, if it's Wix, if it's Shopify, it doesn't really matter what the platform is. It has to be really, really fast.
Okay.
The reason for it is if it's slow, then that puts a big bandwidth load on all of the bots that crawl it.
Okay.
Okay. They don't want to waste time on that.
So what makes it, now I know what makes it slow, but what are some things that make your website slow?
Some things that make the website slow: sloppy code, excessive code. Okay. I mean, you wouldn't know that unless you had a developer working with you. Images that are too big, that are not compressed or formatted for fast and speed. So heavy images, having front-loaded videos as opposed to let the page load, let the video afterwards, and the lightweight videos. Those tend to be some of the biggest things. In WordPress sites, the most common error is you have too many plugins. And how that happens is like, well, I need to do this one thing, so I'm going to add this one plugin that does that one thing. And I will tell you, I had a website, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was horrible. It was out of a score of 100, it was 43. Yikes. So, which is bad. And it just wasn't getting crawled. It wasn't getting indexed. And I go to the back end. He had 37 plugins established. Half of them were no longer in use. And then a bunch of them did multiple things, but he was only using them for one piece. So we cleaned it all up. We ended up with like about 9 plugins. We went from a 43 score to an 85 score just by cleaning up the plugins.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so you got to be mobile friendly if you want to show up in, you know, what they say, the share of answer in AI GEO.
Correct.
What else do they need to do? And let me ask, Scott, is this something that they should do, or do they need to farm this out to somebody else?
My recommendation is working with someone that knows how to do it, that has a focus on speed, you know, so an agency or a developer that knows what goes in and what are the gating items that are slowing down the performance. And if you can, the more of the gating items that you can remove and improve, the better your performance is going to be. And what the funny thing is, you can have the best content in the world, the best site design, the best colors, the best images, but if you're slow, no one's going to see you because no one wants to work with it. So similar, think of it this way. If I'm calling a business and I go into an answering machine loop, or it starts ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing, what do? You hang up and go to the next one.
Right.
Okay. Same thing applies to a website. If I'm an AI bot coming in to crawl your website and I can't get the information I need, I leave. You'll no longer be present.
So this brings us to the next point when we talk about number 2, keywords versus context. And you talk about we.
So yeah, so keywords versus context. This is a distinction in SEO versus GEO, which is the keywords used to be, if you had the right keywords on the page and you had enough of them.
Oh my gosh, that was a thing back in the day.
It was a thing. And if you had all these keywords, you could be visible. Okay. And then the people that had the vanity phrases.
We call that keyword stuffing.
It is keyword stuffing. Old school, they used to put white keywords on a white background. So you'd have a page that had 150 words, but then you'd go into the code and you'd find there's 2,000 because they said the same thing in white and you couldn't see it, right? That was a really bad black hat practice. It was done. So the keywords themselves, all you want to do is have enough that it makes it relevant to what you're talking about. So whatever the topic of the website or the topic of the page, do I have enough keywords that support and help the search engines understand this is what this page is about? It's that simple. Okay. But that's not how AI works. They don't care about keywords. And this is a very, very big challenge and a fundamental shift. For years, people were taught that if you rank for a keyword, you get business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the belief, is if I show up for this keyword, I get business. That's a correlation. That isn't a yes, if you're number 1 for this keyword, you will get all the business. That is not the case anymore. Okay?
That's when Google first came out too, 25 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it's shifted, and the way that AI looks for it is context. And this comes to the wee copy. Okay.
And before you go into that, I just want to be clear for folks that don't understand the way Google works. The first thing that you show up, there's segments to how it shows up on the page. Now, Scott is talking about the AI SEO, the GEO, and that shows up on the very first. The next ones are the sponsored, which is the ones that
they're
promoting with pay-per-click.
Yep.
Scott also does that as well. But he's talking to you what's going to show up on the first fold. The second fold is a paid, and the third fold, depending on what it is, it's going to be either the GEO, which is from Google Maps, or it's going to be organic content. Now, trying to land on that first page, like what he was saying, to be that keyword that's you're going to show up on the first of the page. That's no longer the case. This is no longer the strategy. What everyone's working towards now is to getting in the share of answers, the AI, and the GEO. So if you want to get to the first of the page, the front of the page, not second page of Google, he's about to give you the tips. So take notes.
So the way to look at this, and this is a challenge, when every business owner I know wants to talk about what they're the best at, and how they do things and why they're better than their competition. So they load the website, they load the pages, they load the content with, look at us. We do this, we do that. Look at all the things that we've done, all the awards we've won, look how awesome we are. You have to understand that the user doesn't care. The user is there for a reason. They have a problem, you have a solution. They want to know if your solution will solve their problem. They do not care about your wee-wee copy. And I've told clients this in the past. If you have too much wee-wee copy, you just end up wee-weeing on your clients or potential clients, and they don't care. They're going to leave. So
I love that wee-wee copy.
It's okay to have wee-wee copy, but the page structure can't start with that. I can't open the top of every page as look at us, we do this, we do that. I have to open up with, here's how we can help you. Here's the question or query that somebody put in, and here's how we can help solve that problem. Mm-hmm. Those are passages. That's how AI reads now. It's about context, not keywords. What is the context of this keyword in this passage? And those are what are showing up. And so if you write and restructure a page, and we've done this with a lot of our clients now, we've gone into their old evergreen content that hasn't been touched in years.
No, it's evergreen, yeah.
And refresh it, and we're moving the wee-wee copy from the highlighted top of page down the page further. So it's still there. It's still part of it. But we're answering the questions and the value that we bring to the equation right up front at the top of the page. That's what's driving those mentions.
It's coming back to this is not about the client, as when I say to people, your marketing is not for you, it's for your client avatar. Stop making it about you. It's about them.
It is. And the more that you can help them and provide valuable content or, answer the questions that they're looking for, the better off you're going to, seem to the search engines, and there's more credibility.
That's awesome, because I think what people get lost in, they get so focused on I'm going to talk about me, and it's not, it's about them. And so now that you offered that technical piece, now here's I think a cornerstone piece when we talk about number 3, the XML sitemap, because this is true SEO and SEM work. SEM stands for search engine marketing, which you haven't mentioned, but that's okay, because SEO is what gets mostly said. So when it comes to I almost said SEM again, XML versus llm.txt. This was new when you brought this up to me.
Yeah, this is a thing where people that have really good SEO skills on your website, in order to make the search engines understand, here's all the pages I have, here's all the posts I have, here's all the articles I have, here's the images if you want to put them in here, in the videos. To show it to them and help them index what you have, you will build an XML sitemap. It's just a format. That's all it is. It's a simple navigational tool. Used to be visible, and some people still put the visible one on there.
Sometimes they do, yeah.
It's too hard to keep up with. There's a lot of, you've got to be on top of it all the time. So if you're constantly adding content or constantly updating or adding new videos or adding new pages or writing lots of blog posts, it's better to find a way to automate that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the automation tools will submit your sitemap in a format that the search engines can read. And that format is XML. And it'll list everything that's in there. So a couple of options you have with that. when you add new content, if the tools that you use do the automated version, they'll submit it right into Google. Hey, here's new pages to view. And they'll submit it to Bing, and there's new pages to view, okay? Well, up until recently, there wasn't a really good way to do the same thing for the AI bots.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so now there's a practice that's very recent that's being deployed. I mean, like within the last 6 to 8 months, which is building a large language model file, a text file. Very similar. It's going to have this kind of some of the same format. Here's the pages, here's the posts, here's the videos I have, and I can send that and submit that in the search engines, or the AI bots will understand it. It helps them digest what you have.
Interesting.
Okay, but here's the bonus, the cherry on top.
Oh, he's gonna give you a bonus.
If you're savvy in how you do it, you can add additional things. So I'll give you an example. I have a client, it's a law firm. The cases that they offer and the cases that they take, each one of those pages not only has, here's the page and the URL, but it has a description as well of the kind of cases and the things that they might do. We also are able to put in their geo coordinates so that they show up in local search. We can put in the profile of this attorney is the same as, and we point it to the LinkedIn profile.
Wow, that's crazy.
Profiles. So you're building all this structure, and they're called entities.
Okay.
So that I can build all this entity framework to make it easier for the AI bots to validate who this person is, what they do, what this business is all about, and a frame of reference that makes it just easy to digest. Most people don't know that process is available to them.
Is it like they just sign up like on Google Search Console, something like that?
No, Google Search has not a thing to do with Google Search Console.
Ooh.
This is all done with, right now it's manual. You have to know how to do it.
Okay.
It's not.
So I can't give y'all the link. It was basically what he said.
Yeah, there's no link to go do it. Like you just can't cheat and go do the link. There is a way to do it. Like we actually use AI agents that we built to do them. And then we've customized it because we know that what extra things that we can put in there. Okay. So it's like the XML sitemap plus plus plus. Specifically for AI bots.
So wink, wink. If you want this to be done for your site, we're going to make sure we put Scott's information in the description in the show notes so you can reach out to him so he can get that for you. And with that comes with, if you need a site or you need to improve your site, that leads to number 4 with having the right schema.
Yeah, so schema it's a standard that is written within the code. You and I don't see it.
No. Okay?
Not unless we're reading the code. We wouldn't see it. Your business, the people that visit your business, they aren't going to see it. What it is a way to write the content behind the scenes that makes it machine digestible. So
technical here. We're getting deep on the technical.
Yeah, sorry.
Ones and zeros.
That's where we're going. It's to show, here's what the page is all about. Okay, and I'll give you an example of local business. If I'm a local business, I can say, start with that. There's the first thing. I'm a local business. Okay, then it allows me to put my address, my business hours, and my geo coordinates. So it's driver for maps. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Super easy. Most people do search. Most search is done on mobile right now. At some point, almost every search happens with interface with mobile. Okay. So how do I improve my showing in the maps? How do I improve my local presence? If I'm a bakery and I want to show up, what do I need to do? I sell cookies. I've got a food cart. How do I show up? And this is one way to do it. So you would claim the local business, and then it's going to be the business type. Maybe it's a salon. Okay. So you do the subsets in there. But then the extra piece that you can do is now I can say, here's the services that I offer. Okay. So if I'm a salon and I do haircuts, or I do perms, or I do blowouts, or whatever the level of service that I'm putting in there.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
All that you're saying, can't you do that in Google My Business?
No, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
Google My Business, great question, by the way.
Okay.
That's
try to do my best.
for Google's benefit. Okay.
Okay.
We have to keep in mind there's many, many other bots that crawl it.
What? There's other web browsers?
Crazy. Do not become Google-centric. Google has lost a ton of market share. They know it. So if you're Google-centric, you will go down with that ship. I'm not saying they're not important and they're not the big dog, but they are. But guess who's the second biggest big dog out there? YouTube.
Hello. Which is funny because they're owned by the same company, Alphabet, but completely different strategies.
But if you think of all the different platforms that are out there, there's DuckDuckGo, there's Brave, there's Bing, there's all these different platforms, correct?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So the schema helps identify and lets every machine read it. And here's the important thing. Google, and I think this is a pretty significant distinction, Google will update your Google business profile with or without your permission. They'll go in and they'll change somebody said this, or we think that, and they will change your business hours. They will change what kind of services you offer. They may amend, they may not. This schema is something you can control. So I can influence it. They won't go in and change your schema. Okay. You can do that. Now, on a WordPress site, there's plenty of plugins available.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
There's a lot of SEO plugins that have it as part of it. They do different things, but most people don't do that level on their site.
Especially if you buy like something from Squarespace, Wix, they're not going to, and I'm not saying not to if you're just starting, but you're not intentionally thinking all of this stuff. And just for like, again, to play devil's advocate here, if I'm just starting my business, do I come to you or do I just start something on Wix?
I think you need to start with a strategy. Okay, let's start with a plan. Okay,
right? Because, not a tactic. Go figure. Wow,
yeah, it's one of those things and I think this is a big one because most businesses are mature or have been around, but there's still a lot of young businesses, and they think I need this, this, and this, right? So here's the most common thing I hear: I need to be on TikTok, and my first question is why? Who's your user? If someone's sitting across from you as a client, what does that person look like?
Your client avatar. Go figure.
Yeah. So you're asking those questions, and it's like, and I get this all the time. I have a lot of legal clients, and they always want to be on whatever the buzzword is. And I'm like, what are you going to put up there that's going to be interesting? If you're going after car accident as an injury lawyer, you're not going to have a lot of TikTok car accidents videos showing up there because that's not the environment. That's not your audience. So I think the biggest opportunity starting out, identify what you do, who it serves, where they engage the most, and then that'll help you identify the platforms that are best able to reach out to that audience.
Which is funny, if you do a business model canvas, the first thing you do is your value proposition. Number 2 is your customer. So it's the same thing, but yeah, have a strategy in mind, because if we get to the number 5, which let me just do a quick recap. 1, SEO versus GEO. 2, keywords. 3, XML. We're going to say llm.txt. To 4, schema. 5, if you're focusing on the customer, what happens next?
It's going to be reviews. Okay. And reviews are the biggest driver of AI results right now. Okay. And here's why.
That's new for me. I haven't heard that.
It's a huge driver for AI.
Okay.
Because in AI, they're looking for authority and credibility. Those are their 2 key things that they're looking for. Okay. If you remember the wee copy.
Right.
And you're doing as I call it, chest thumping, and look at us, and we do this and we do that. And that's what you're pushing most out there. They search AI bots, chat bots. that are crawling your site don't really care what you say about you. They're going to go out and independently verify and say, what are people saying about your brand? What are people saying about your business?
But wait, hold on. Let me push back. I got to be that devil's advocate, right? So hold on. So if can I just put reviews on my site just copy and paste?
You can, but guess where they're going to get validated? Not from your website. They're going to go look at the source. They're going to go to Yelp. They're going to go to Google Business Reviews. They're going to go to Bing Place Reviews. They're going to look at Reddit.
Oh, Reddit's a big one.
So they're going to look at your brand through the eyes of your customer. What are they saying about you? So I see a lot of people that'll take their best reviews and post it on their website, and that's it.
Typical.
Okay.
5s and 4s.
Yeah, because I want to look good to my client base. But guess what? The AI bots are going to go look at the reviews and see the 2s and 3s. Okay, and here's what they're going to ask. Did you respond to them?
Ooh.
Did you respond to them? Here's the next question they're going to ask. How frequently do you get reviews? So the velocity of your reviews becomes very, very important.
Don't I be asking y'all for reviews for the show and y'all don't be responding? That's why we ain't number one. And this is the all part. Okay, sorry, but that's a little rant.
So that velocity, how frequently do I get reviews? You've got to have a regular cadence. If it's once a week, if it's once a day, if it's once a month, whatever it is, just be consistent. The other thing is engage. You've got to engage with the reviews. If it's negative, still reach out, try to correct it. The reason for it is they see you're a human, that you're real. You're not just I'm ignoring the people. I'm ignoring my people. I'm ignoring my audience. I don't care if they're good or bad. So the ability to engage, that level of engagement, that helps build your authority and your credibility.
Yeah, this is coming back to AI. Even though it's AI, they still want to make sure that you're not AI.
Correct.
I think it's even funny when I go on TikTok. I like to go on TikTok lives, and there's certain keywords I can't say, and if you don't engage, they don't count people that are on it because you're going to show up as a bot. So it's important that if you are working on what we call ORM, online reputation management, that you do act as if you're talking directly to a person, even though it's online. I tell these people all the time, like, sure, it's a negative comment, but it doesn't mean that you can't try to respond. So the people that are looking at it, for those that say, oh, I don't respond to online comments, I got negative comments on my stuff all the time. But I want you to know I'm human, and I'm going to let you know how I feel about it.
I have a great story about a negative comment, and it started out horrible. It was bad. It was working with a client and happened to be a family law attorney. And the guy the lawyer got ripped in this review.
Oh, shoot. I can only imagine.
Because he got ripped by the opposing partner. So he represented the wife, and the ex-husband came on and gave him just a rage-filled review. 1 star, horrible, long, and the attorney responded in a positive manner as best he could with the situation, stated his side, but that 1 star hung out there, and it was hanging out there and hanging out there and hanging out there. And about 18 months later, there was another review from the same 1 star rater. And it was the husband who hired that attorney. And in his second review, which was all 5 stars, he said, the reason I hired him is because he's so damn good. And he took all my money the first time around, and I needed him for something else. And this guy is the best attorney I know because he won, and he kicked my butt the first time. And I was mad about it.
Wow.
So which is a phenomenal story, but it's pretty cool. But it shows that if you engage, good or bad, positive things you can get positive outcomes.
So just to be clear, so he gave a 1 star review.
He was, yes.
Initially, but then he changed it to a 5 star.
No, he wrote a new review.
Okay.
That was a 5 star. He said, I've hired him because he kicked my butt in the,
If you can't beat him, why not join him?
He's the best attorney I knew. So.
That's great.
But that was because the law firm and the attorney had engaged and followed up with that 1 star.
So, and I'm not going to say this is easy or easier, but for those that say, hey, look, I can't do the SEO part or the GEO part, but I can get Google reviews. What's some tips for folks to get more Google reviews on their site?
Couple of things, make it easy. Remove the barriers. Okay, so you could have a QR code. You could have a review us button at the top, bottom. And by the way, don't just go after reviews from one source. Again, don't be Google centric. You can have, there's a lot of plugins on a WordPress site where you can put review us in. It could go to Yelp. It could go to Bing. It could go to, Trust Advisor. There's a bunch of different places that you can go to post them. It doesn't matter where they post them as long as they're posting them on a regular cadence and you're engaging with good and bad.
Whew, that's great, man. Thank you, man. That's. I mean, y'all give him a shoe. I gotta give him a round of applause. That was pretty good. I learned some stuff. I think the biggest thing for me with the SEO versus GEO is I'll come back to brevity. You don't need a lot of information. Not to say you don't need to put content out there, but how you put it out there matters now, because if you look at the old HTML sites that I still see up and running, they have everything in the kitchen sink on there.
This is a valid point. Okay. It gets dismissed. So you'll have a lot of pages that are crawled, but they don't show up. They're not indexed. We don't care about this pages because the quality is low. Very common for you to say, you have a product and you have a page about the product, or you have a service and you have a page about it, and then you have 10 pages underneath are variations of the same thing.
Right.
Why don't do just one quality page? So instead of having a 400-page website, a well thought out, high quality 40-page website can outperform that.
Yeah, and I think you haven't said this, but domain authority is a big term that we use in the SEO world, which means it's a ranking system of websites. If that becomes, and I don't know if that's even the right way to phrase it, but how important is that nowadays?
It isn't.
Okay.
It was a made-up tool. So was Rank. Rank was a made-up tool. And
these are tools in the SEO world.
And ranking was set up as a tool, and there's a lot of people that are obsessed with that. They think that that's what's the most important thing.
Sure, I didn't know this. I'm learning something.
Yeah, so the rank isn't, that's not what you're after. You're after is, can I provide value to the person that I'm trying to provide value to? And how do I make what I have present the best way possible of my brand and my image and my services and offerings and solutions, that it gets recommended by AI. And so the things we've talked about today, about context over keywords, and having a sitemap for AI, and having reduce the wee copy and talk about your content page structure and passages. They all tie together. These are all little pieces, little elements. So there is no quick fix. This is a process.
So you're just saying that I can't just build my site, pay you, and just walk away and be done with it?
You can, but here's what's going to happen. It's going to be stagnant. What you need to do is over time, you need to be consistent and build that authority and credibility. And as you talked about, the domain authority, it used to be, there was something to it, and it was just a way for people that were working in the industry to say, am I seeing improvement or not? Okay. So that's what they're looking for, is how do I see improvement? Okay. And today, the best way to say improvement is, are you getting more business than you had before?
Results. Hello.
It's got to be focused on outcomes. It can't be a rank or a visibility. That is an outcome of your marketing, but it's not an outcome of, did I reach the right audience? Did I have the right message? Did I have the right value prop? Do people want to engage with me? Do I have, happy clients? Those outcomes, there's only two. There's the macro outcome and the micro. The macro is, this website is here to make money.
It's not about my ego, Scott. I really want it to look pretty
Nope.
and
Nope. It's simply how do I make money online?
Okay.
And the micros are everything else. Did anybody watch my video? Did anybody send me a thank you note? Did somebody give me a review? Did somebody see my pet page that I, my ego page did somebody read my bio? Those are the micros.
Yeah.
You don't make money on that.
Right.
You make money on this.
Right. So I want to get you out on, I want to make sure, where can people find you at? I want to make sure I get you out correctly.
Sydekar.com.
We'll put in
SYDEKAR.com. And you can just send I get all the emails that come from there. So that's the easiest thing.
Okay. So we're going to put it in the show notes in the description. So make sure you look for it. One thing that we did not talk about is you also do paid search as well.
Yes. Pay-per-click, SEM, as they call it. Yes. Yeah. It's changed tremendously. It's evolving more rapidly than people realize. The way that Google's moving, which is the big player, Bing's going the same way. And don't discount Bing. Okay. A lot of people say, well, poo-poo it. It still has a very big audience. You usually can play in that space for less money than you can on Google. Yes, there's less market share, but the cost per click is lower and the conversions tend to be higher because it's a different audience. Okay. Then you have paid social media, and then you have, paid video. So you've got OTT, which is over the top television, or direct TV, those type of, so there's multiple paid promotion platforms. But what you're seeing is a move to, you put money in a bucket and we'll let AI decide how to spend it. Okay.
That's where we're moving to.
That's where they want to go. That's where and there's a real big, whoa, hold your horses, because you're letting AI learn on my dime.
Right. And that's why I wanted to share out there too, because it's like, there's a less opportunity to do manual ads are so much harder to do nowadays.
Yeah, there is.
So I just wanted to share that, because say you're doing the SEO, you're doing the GEO, then you're doing the reviews, but if you're still not getting the results that's needed, what comes next? And
it's going to be some of the paid promotion. And for, the thing that I find challenging is you see, and even Google will tell you this, in the past, if you got a 2 to 4% click-through rate on an ad, that was
good.
That was good, and that was industry standard. Now, if you even get close to a 1% click-through rate,
I just want to say 2%. So if you have 100 clicks and if 2 people clicked on it and they clicked through, just not hit the home page, but click through another page, that's click-through, CTR. Correct. That was good. Now,
if you're pushing 1%, you're lucky. You're seeing performance at the 0.8, 0.7, and because they changed a lot of the parameters in search so that you couldn't filter out the garbage. Now they're letting AI learn on your dime. Okay. And so
that sucks.
It does. As a business owner, it's very challenging. It's like, gee, do I want to spend my money that way? And I'd say if you have a big budget, it's okay, but there's ways to control it.
Okay. So there's hope. So there's multiple, coming back to what you're saying, strategies that you can go about making sure that at the end of the day, we're not focused about our ego, vanity, or just cool metrics. We're talking about getting the result. And so if they can't do it through the 5 things that we give, I'm going to make sure I put them up for there so you can see it. If you can't get it through that way, there's other ways to go about getting that. And Scott can help you with that. I'm going to put this information down below. Sydekar.com is the best way to get a hold of him. If you got anything else to say to the viewers that...
No, thanks for letting me babble for a minute or two. I know it got a little technical, but
oh my gosh,
I think the whole reason that I was excited to do this is say, hey, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of things that we have within our control that we can influence the AI results. Now, are we going to guarantee it? No, because it's still all these other variables that we have no control over.
Yeah.
But it goes back to pay attention to the details, control what you can, okay, And the last handoff that we have to the AI bots is the things we talked about. Having an llm.txt file, having a schema markup, having the content be written in passages. We can control that. So why don't we? And do it more often so that we have a better influence over our brand results.
Yeah, that's so huge. And I can't, I mean, I'm going to end on this because when you'll see a video right here that is telling you what I've learned over the last 30 days, what I did in a year from doing YouTube starting last year till now, completely different. Like you said, YouTube is number 2. You don't count yourself out, and don't here, let me just put it this way. Don't do this by yourself. You have people to help you. Don't DIY it. If you do, you're going to be in a lot of pain. Get the people to help you. And of course, if people are on a budget, can you help them, Scott?
Yes. Yep. We can always figure out a way to do it.
Okay. All right. Again, go to this video here, Scott. Man, I appreciate you.
Always a pleasure. Now let's go get some smash burgers.
Y'all click on this, and we wish you nothing but the best. Dream big. Godspeed.